Hi, I'm Bina Kavalam, leadership consultant and executive coach. And in continuing with our series on Gravitas, today we're going to be focusing in on adaptability. Now, adaptability is a critical skill in this really fast-paced and ever-changing leadership environment, right? Because it's not really about having all the answers now. It's about how quickly can you adapt to change. For you especially, adaptability is not just about survival, it's about a cornerstone of executive presence and gravitas. Because when the unexpected happens, we want a leader who will stay composed, will pivot strategically, and will bring others with her, right? She's the one who's going to command the room. Why adaptability matters for executive presence? Because it's about confidence under pressure, right? Even when times are stressed, you're not showing you're stressed out. You know you got this. That confidence of believing in yourself shows you're resilient, not reactive, right? You've been under challenging situations before and you know how to respond, but you're not going to be reactive to anything that just happens. And finally, it builds trust, right? People follow leaders who will stay steady during times of change, not lose their way. I mean, think about it. Have you ever had a leader who just loses it when there's a stressful time? I know I have. And let me tell you, the trust level went down, right? So how can we build these adaptability skills now that we know how important they are? Well, here are three ways that you can build your adaptability muscle. All right. One, pause before you pivot. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you take a moment to pause before you react. So think about this. There was a great quote. I believe it's by Nietzsche, but I could be wrong. I'll check that. I'll fact check that. But it's about how you have this stimulus and you have a response. And in the middle, there is a pause. There's a space. We need to pause in that space. We don't need to immediately react when we have a stimulus. So in that moment, pause, take a breath. Don't immediately respond. Allow your brain to work. Think through the strategy instead of your gut instinct, right? Some of us tell us, oh, we need to use our guts, our instinct. And sometimes that's true. But in situations like this, it's better to follow and take a pause and then respond. Number two, reframe disruption as data, right? Come at it from a growth mindset perspective, right? So this change, this is a good thing. How can I learn from it? What can I do to grow? How is this going to help me? What is this moment trying to teach me? What am I going to learn here? It's really powerful when you switch the perspective on things. And finally, run some adaptive skills. These are micro adaptive skills. This can be anything from changing up your routine to, leading your meetings differently, or tackling a problem from a different angle. So, for example, today, when I was coming back from the gym, there was a huge traffic jam. And so I decided, instead of resetting my GPS and having to plug it in, all this other stuff, I decided, no, I'm just going to figure out a way to get home not using the parkway. And I did. And it helped me, kind of figure out and remember the way I traveled, remember the roads, how things were working, and it keeps me nimble, right? You may also want to change the style of your meetings. Lead your meetings in a different way. If you're the one who's always running the meeting, going through the agenda in a certain way, maybe you don't lead from the front. Maybe you lead from the side in this meeting and let someone else take the lead, right? It's about changing up your style a bit so that your brain can get used to these changes and adapt. All right. So how do you build your adaptability as a leader? Comment below. Thanks, everybody.